This is your home for the Cardinals. Eudora Sports Live.
Van Dong in motion. The give is to Moody. Moody ducks down and dives in. He's standing over the ball. He's going to take it quickly. Looking across the field, and he's got it! It's Jude Whalen. And now Addy Hephill puts it away for the Cards. They'll take a 2-set lead. Hendrickson in motion, give to Duncan. Duncan, and he struts the safety. Is he in?
It's time for the Cardinals on your home for Eudora High School Athletics. Eudora Sports Live.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome in here to Eudora Sports Live. We've got Reed McAvoy here with Hayden Harves beside me, as we have got some Cardinals volleyball here from the Cardinal Arena, as they will be hosting the Baldwin Bulldogs. JV game ended a little bit quickly, so we're sort of rushing through this Fort Scott Community College pregame show, as they're about to get into the national anthem here, so we'll listen into that. All right, well, it should be a good one here. It always is when we get to do Cardinal volleyball, always an exciting thing. Get going here on our Fort Scott Community College. We're about to wrap up already our Fort Scott Community College pregame show, but I will tell you that you belong at Fort Scott Community College, from nursing to farm and ranch management, John Deere Tech to theater, and so much more, plus championship caliber athletic programs. You can learn more about them at fortscott.edu. So Hayden, what can you tell us about this matchup between the Cards and the Bulldogs?
Yeah, coming into this one, there's a little bit of stretch of time since the last volleyball game we called, but since that last game, the 23rd of September at Lewisburg, there have been 14 games here for the Lady Cards on the volleyball side. They've won 11 of them. A lot of them have been 2 or 3 sets to none, and they come in with a total record today of 19-9, 6-0 in the Frontier League, which puts them at the top of the heap there. So they've been a very, very competitive team all year long, and look forward to seeing what we get at tip-off here.
Yeah, it is very interesting, though, just considering last year they went 32-5. We talked about it a good bit in our first game that we got to call. You know, they've lost almost double of the amount of games they lost last year, despite being a really strong team. And it feels like maybe even stronger in some aspects. They're such a young roster, so a lot of players have a year of experience under their belt.
Right.
And they are still the best team in the Frontier League right now, one of the best teams around. But they have lost 9 games of the 28 that they have done this year.
I think it's just a very high bar to set. When you only lose 5 games on a season, it's so tough to replicate that.
Very true.
Certainly still one of the best teams
for the Bulldogs. They come in 6-16 on the year, so the matchup, just at least on the records coming in, certainly favors the Cardinals to get another win within Frontier League play. The Bulldogs went 11-22 last year. We will get our first serve here. Bulldogs moving the ball around, hit, and that one will be put out, so the Cards get the first point. And Izzy Brunkow will get to continue to serve here.
Seems to be a patient approach from the Cards so far, which I like quite a bit, not rushing into anything too much, kind of letting the game come to them early. And then mistakes from the Bulldogs.
Yeah, unreturnable there from Brunkow.
And the Hope crowd stomping these bleachers, letting you know their satisfaction.
Again, attacking the libero for the Bulldogs. That's Cami Collum. She dealt with this one better. Brunkow will set it to the outside, tipped at the net, but it'll be a kill there for Miller, the killer. Brady Miller takes her first victim today.
And that immediately puts the Cards out to a pretty comfy.
Actually, that was Avery Hemphill, my mistake.
They're all getting multiple kills per set. It's tough to keep track sometimes.
So Hemphill grabs her first today. Nice push over there, but the Cardinals keep it alive. This is Miller, and that one is hit out, so the point goes to the visitors.
You shook it off a little bit. She said, it wasn't great. It's so early in the set. Still having to shake off a little bit of the rust and get into the flow of the game here early.
The serve will come from the libero, Cami Collum. And Miller, she's got a couple kills already.
Yeah, certainly got her get back on that one. Placed it pretty much perfectly. And putting the Bulldogs in a bit of a tough spot here early on in set one. And I do mean very early.
So it is 4-1 in favor of the Cards. And now the serve will go to the sophomore, Brady Miller. Dealt with not super well there. Trying to do her best with it was Emmy Nye. After Sammy Pittman couldn't dig it very well, Bulldogs could not get that one back across.
And that's something we've seen the Cards do such a good job of in the couple of games we've called, is just being coordinated on their side offensively, which just puts the other team on the back foot and in a really tough position to try to defend. And they do it consistently, which is not an easy task.
Pittman dealt with this one better. Now she'll send a free ball across to the outside for Hemphill. Took a touch at the net, pushed across at the second hit. Very nicely done for the Bulldogs. Hammerschmidt tried to do her best with that one, but it put her in a really tough spot. The Bulldogs are able to break serve and get the side out. It's 5-2.
Yeah, credit to the Bulldogs there, and that's a little bit of momentum hopefully in their favor that they'll need pretty badly. If they go down one set early here to the Cards, who we already know seem to get better as the sets go on, winning this set early or putting up a significant fight going to be really important for the Bulldogs down the stretch.
And another point will go to the Cardinals as that one hit to the back line. The Bulldogs' most recent win was only 3 days ago over West Franklin. They were able to grab a win, but even since then, they've dropped their last three. This one's still alive at the net. Miller gonna have to hit it from the back line and put some dip on it. That one was nasty. Hammerschmidt will set this one to the near side for Wanger with the left-handed hit and dumps that one in there. Cardinals point 7-2. A lot of the wins for the Bulldogs came early in this season, and they've only had 6 on the year, so just tells you they've been on a long skid at this point during the season. A little too much on that one from Miller, 7-3.
And the Cards have had a couple of impressive win streaks here as of late. After that last game we called against the Wildcats, they did lose 2 games in a row. After that, they won 6 in a row and currently come in on a 3-game win streak as well.
A decent start to try and make it 4, but a couple errors let the Bulldogs back in this one. Apologies that we can't get you the live score. I'll just have to relay it to you. It's 7-4 in favor of the Cards. Brunkow sets that one for Hemphill, and nothing the Bulldogs could do about that one. 8-4.
And the lead extends a bit more, and you and I just, of course, we haven't called a ton of volleyball, so we haven't seen a ton of the trends of these teams, but one thing we did note about the Cards in the last matchup we did see was that as the sets went on, they seemed to get even more cohesive and even stronger in terms of playing as a unit. Early on, leads may have evaporated as the game went on. They just got better and better at holding on to them and even extending them in some instances.
One of the seniors on this Cardinals team, Ariana Eder, who sets this one to Hemphill, has checked into the game to begin a run of serves. Here she will set this one, and that one is hit really nicely by Karis Mason, another senior on this Card squad. Well done by the Bulldogs to keep this one up. And then denied, but it goes out, so a Bulldogs point. 8-5 our score.
That was extremely impressive from the Bulldogs. That was running long enough. You just knew a mistake was going to come from one side or the other, and it seemed the way we've seen the game go so far, you'd lean towards that mistake being from the Bulldogs. But a really good fight to bring this one within 3 yet again, keeping the Cards a little bit uncomfy midway through this set.
And that one is finished by Kane. Nine to 5. Hemphill's serve. And the hit comes up short from Emmy Nye. 10-5. Cards would like to get to go on a bit of a run here just so they can feel more comfortable. I think they're looking pretty good for taking set number 1, but you said it, they let the Bulldogs back in a little bit, despite them not playing all too well. This is Mason, gets through the blockers, and that's a great point.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say the Cardinals look that uncomfortable right now per se. I think it's just more a matter of keeping them honest if you're the opponent. Or if they start to get out to 6 points as they have right now, the advantage even up to 7 or 8. Just think the respect they give to the Bulldogs maybe dropped off a little bit, which allows them to put the foot on the gas even harder.
Miller gets the kill. 12-5 for Eudora.
And the atmosphere very light here in Cardinal Arena. Fan section is quite full. The stands are always packed, as per usual, even on weeknights here. Eudora shows out for the home team, and the team looking fluid and comfortable here thus far.
Blocked at the net there. Looked like Mason got to that one. This one kept up by Eder. Miller's denied. Dumped across by Eder. This one all the way across for Miller. Really good ball movement there by the Cardinals. The set coming all the way across, and then the kill going back across the court into the back corner, and they will induce a timeout with the score 13-5. We can go ahead and take a quick break as well. We'll be right back. Another serve will come in here from Avery Hemphill with the score 13-5 in favor of the hosts Eudora. She goes to the cross court, and it's dumped across at the second hit. Set to the back line. Hemphill tried to find the seam, but too far to the left. Gives the ball back to Baldwin, 13-6.
And still giving them opportunities, and the Cards would love nothing more than to just clean up the mistakes and walk away here with set number 1, but certainly still more than a comfy margin. The Bulldogs stick around by a couple of errors, nothing critical.
This will be for Brady Miller, and she will get the kill. Cards take the ball right back.
And it's so impressive how inevitable it seems when Brady Miller has a good ball set her way. When she's able to find a spot, it is so incredibly difficult for a defense to keep it from resulting in anything but a kill.
The service comes from Kane, and another kill from Miller. She finds the seam. 15-6 for Eudora. They are going on a run.
Yeah, so when you talked about that run, say you spoke it into existence for sure.
Kane to the cross court. This one comes back across from Nye. Actually, it won't get over. So the Cards now up by 10.
Only 9 points away from taking the set, which if they're able to keep the serving
Great
power
serve
on their
by
side.
Kane.
If they can keep serving power on their side, these next 8 points to win the set could actually show up very quickly here.
Kane's last serve got just over the net, had a lot of dip on it. That was mean. Can she hit one like that again? A little bit more height on this one, but equally impossible to deal with for Emmy Nye. It's 18-6.
Just so difficult to deal with. And now we've gone through 2 serves, and the Cards are that much closer. Now just 7 points away, 18-6 the score.
And Hemphill will step out for Leanna Muting. Yet another senior on this Cardinals team getting minutes. Powerful serve from Kane, kept up by the libero column, and they will get it back across. Eder sets this in the middle for Muting. Well, that was Meckel, rather. Hit back across, and too much on that one. It's out, 19-5 now.
You can tell the Bulldogs want to put up a fight. I mean, they need to scratch and claw to win the set here to have any chance at it, per se. But man, it's just been a slide. The Cards have become ruthless on their serves.
Miller, blocked, but out, Cardinals point. Yeah, I'd say a lot of the struggles as the Cardinals are first to 20 is coming on that first ball, like as you say on the serve, the dig. A lot of times the Bulldogs players are a little too scared to deal with it properly.
Kind of passive.
Oh, and that one's just unlucky. Nothing the Bulldogs could do about that. Off the net, and it finds a seam to give the Cardinals the lead 21-6 now. But in general, those serves that have gotten across clean, they just have a hard time dealing with them, and when you don't do the first ball right, it's hard to do the second or third.
Right.
Like a nice set, though, and that one will be a little bit fortunate, but also just a very nice play. Hadley Hobbs getting the finish on that one to make it 21-7.
Yeah, there can be some good fortune involved, but you've still got to be there at the right time and play the ball well, which they certainly did over on the Bulldogs side there. And even if they're not able to win this set, you just love to go on a little run here, keep the Cards having to fight to get to that 25 mark, just to give yourself some positive signs to carry into set 2.
Muting got under that one, and Meckel gets the finish. Oh, and a tough set there. They'll have to get this one back across, but that was already the third touch. So the Cards take the point. They're now within 3 of taking set number 1. And a winger will check back in alongside Izzy Brunkow, who will take over service. She started set 1. Can she finish it? Well, a service error means the answer is no. That gives the ball back to Baldwin, 22-8.
Yeah, and I stand by it. Even if, I mean, if the Bulldogs are able to get, say, 5 or 6 more points before the Cards are able to get those 3 they need, you'll just give yourself a little bit of something to hang your head high on going into sets 2 and 3.
Miller from the right side this time. A decent dig there from Laura Breedlove. And now a great dig from Hammerschmidt.
Wow.
And she was in the way of Miller being able to send that one back across. Baldwin get 2 points in a row. My bad from Hammerschmidt.
Her teammates basically give her the equivalent of, you're good.
With the score 22-9, I think you can allow for a little bit of mistakes.
Of course.
Nice hit from the left-handed winger. And hit across on the second. It was close, but the point goes to Eudora. They're now within 2 of taking set 1.
On the Card side, kind of paused for a second there. That one was really close. And a couple of good serves here. Could very well push the Cards over the edge before the ball ever goes back to the Bulldogs here in set 1.
See if they can keep the Bulldogs from going double digits. 23-9 the score. Nye has her hit sent straight back by Hemphill. Dumped across. What a dig there by Brunkow.
That was about as well as you could do that.
That is called a pancake, the way that she dove and got that. Will it result in a Cardinals point? This ball is still alive. This is going to come for Holloman, who's blocked, and it is a Cardinals point.
Oh, the Bulldogs.
Everybody immediately goes to celebrate with Brunkow, because that pancake, the dig like that was unbelievable.
That saved it. That saved the point for sure, and the Bulldogs put up an unbelievable effort there. Unfortunately, the Cards the organization and the effort comes out on top there.
And then Miller relentlessly gets the ace to take set one with the score 25-9. A very nice showing from the Cardinals, who take set one emphatically here at home. We'll go to a break and be back with set two.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Helms Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College. At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
All right, back here for set number two after the Cardinals have taken set one 25-9. There was an impressive pancake there from Izzy Brunkow that kept alive a great volley the Cardinals ended up taking. I'd say Miller was probably a standout performer in that, but I mean, win is
per usual, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'd challenge you to find a Lady Cards volleyball game in the last 2 years where she hasn't been a standout performer.
The Cards do take set one here against the Bulldogs. So they look to try and extend what is a 3-game winning streak.
And this, of course, is a in Frontier League matchup. They come in, the Cards do 6-0 within the Frontier League, and they only have one more after this for the rest of the year. They will play Circle and Eureka, and then they round out their regular season against Paola.
Paola, who sits second in the Frontier League at 4-1. And the first point will go to Baldwin.
Certainly a better start than the first set, where I believe it started on a 3-0 run for the Cards, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, they've got their first lead all day.
Now comes the small matter of keeping it that way.
Logan Scobie with another serve. To be set to Mason. And kept alive well. Holloman gets blocked, but it's still alive. Nye, joust at the net. Miller gets the finish.
Again, you can't help but be so impressed with how inevitable Brady Miller makes those kills look.
She said, no more messing around.
Right. The gloves are off. Or the finger tape. I don't know what the what are they wearing? They're not wearing gloves the majority of the time. You get the idea.
I like the amount of pink that the Cardinals are wearing for breast cancer awareness. That will knock it over the net from Hemphill, so Baldwin lead again, 2-1. It's something that the NFL got rid of because they have their whole stand up to cancer, to all forms of cancer campaign now.
Yep.
But that used to be great every October, seeing players decked out in pink. So I love them keeping that alive.
There's a nostalgic feel to it for sure. The pink cleats, pink arm sleeves, gloves, the whole thing.
That one did hit the ground on the Baldwin side, so the Cardinals tie it up at 2s.
Bulldogs keeping it even. It's very early on here, but
I gotta call out Hammerschmidt with the mismatched shoes. Is kind of awesome, and she's actually matching with Eder, who's got the other shoes.
Oh, that's incredible. I hadn't noticed that detail.
That one will go out off Hephill. Baldwin lead again. Set 2 going a lot better for these visitors. It's 3-2.
They're doing it out of desperation. I mean, if you go down 2-0 to these cards, that's about as deep of a hole as you could feel like you're in terms of Frontier League volleyball. Nobody wants to be down, especially big to these Cardinals. So it makes sense here. Bulldogs likely fighting for their night in this set.
Brunkow will set this for Wenger, who's denied. Baldwin have a 2-point lead for the first time tonight.
And I don't want to set any narratives too early, but this could be, if it continues to go on this way for a little while longer, it's a very good test of resilience and a good challenge for these Lady Cardinals to see how they play if they fall down into a little bit of a hole and they find themselves backed up to the wall a little bit. Of course, second set, not a ton of do or die urgency here, but it is always a good exercise for a team to have to fight and claw a little bit.
Not sure
in a deficit.
What the delay is here. Everybody's got their eye on the entrance doors of the gym.
We will resume play, though, it seems.
We get the whistle to go ahead. We'll see if we get any updates on that situation. I honestly don't anticipate. I'm not sure what it is. Hephill has to try and pull that one back, but Baldwin lead by 3, 5-2.
And we know we've seen some resilience out of these Cardinals against the Wildcats in the game you and I called.
Hammerschmidt didn't deal with that one very well, but the Cardinals recover. Nye does not get that one back across. Yes, 3-5. But the Bulldogs have already scored more than half of the points that they scored in set 1.
That's a crazy statistic.
Serve will come here from the senior Hammerschmidt. Nye gets the kill. Baldwin looked very different here in set number 2. They at times appeared helpless in set 1, and they are
not
in control here in set 2. The high serve from Emmy Nye. Brunkow sets it in the middle. Kane gets the finish. She just smashed that one in there.
Feels like those serves from Nye were a fairly significant part of that. Of course, we'll see how the Bulldogs play this next cycle when she's not serving, but she had a couple of really impressive ones that put the Cards in tough spots on her last couple of serves.
Eder's serve to the cross court. Nye sets that one for Logan Scobie. This will come to Hemphill, and she finds the seam. Cards back within 1. Maybe we were sounding the alarm bells a little quick.
I don't think either of us were really thinking it was desperate. It's just kind of a rarity. You don't see them down that much very often.
Eder again to the cross court. Dealt with well enough by Collum, and they'll have to just send a free ball back across. The play will go to Hemphill. And was that in? It was not. Baldwin point, 5-7.
You'd love to see, even though the Bulldogs' lead is holding here for the most part, you'd love to see them gain a little bit of that initial form back. Of course, don't want to say the lead is hollow by any means, but there have been a lot of...
And Hemphill gets the finish. Makes our score 6-7.
I wasn't going to say it. I was going to let you have it. He was even signaling to me beforehand. I'm like, nope, nope, I won't do it. I won't do it.
There's some people sitting around the booth here that appreciate it. If no one else on the broadcast does, at least I got some fans that I think are maybe 7 years old.
A little more credit than that, maybe. We are having a good time here on Eudora Sports Live, though, as per usual.
Miller, that one took a touch, did it? It did. So we are tied at 7.
Now I'm going to be looking over at the Bulldogs side quite a bit to see what kind of emotions, what kind of atmosphere it looks like over on that side of the court. See if they blink in the face of no longer holding that lead or if they respond back.
Hemphill's serve had a lot of knuckle on it. The Bulldogs did well to deal with that. This one set up for Kane, and the Cards now lead in set 2, which brings out some cheers here from the Cardinal Arena.
And the ladies out on the court now look extremely relaxed, almost instantaneously. Look like they found some of that flow state, as you might call it. And the Bulldogs side now in pretty desperate need of a response here. You don't want to go down a couple.
Hemphill. Set back across by Collin, but it's out, 9-7. And a short serve from Hemphill gives the Bulldogs the ball back, 9-8.
They're right close again, but again, I'd love to see them get some of that form back where they kind of looked like they were controlling the pace and had really good coordination over on their side offensively. They haven't had that for maybe the last half of the points they've gotten, at least the last 3 or 4.
The dipping serve was dealt with by Hammerschmidt. Miller gets blocked at the net. It comes back across. Etter sets this one to the back line with Hemphill. And then Kane gets the finish at the net. Cards are first to 10.
Kane, a couple of really impressive kills and responses so far in this set.
Impressive that the Cards are first to 10. They were trailing 6-3, but they now lead 10-8.
I think there is also something to...
Ooh, that one's going to go out, so it goes down as a service error and makes it 10-9.
Oh, so close. We'll say, when we say they had half of the score of the Bulldogs early on in the set, certainly that's a little bit different when it's maybe 12-6 instead of 6-3. But the Cards nonetheless have battled back well here.
And that one goes, oh no, they say it took a touch. Cardinals point, 11-9.
Wow.
It's going to be really interesting here because at this point, Baldwin have put up a great fight. They put up as many points as they did in set 1, but right now they do trail. They just have to make it count, which means, all that means is they have to take set 2 because they're going to have to do it all over again in set 3 either way. And they got to build on what they've already, the foundation that they've set here is very strong.
Yes.
They're in this set right now. They've got to take control of it because I don't know if they can get this opportunity again. Also, the officials talking things over, but they do agree and confirm that it took a tip on its way out, meaning it is a Eudora point.
Yeah, Reed, I think there's something to be said, too, about just what this means if you don't win this set going into the next one, as that pushes the Cards lead now out to 3, 12-9. Even if you put up a great fight in this one, say it's, match point 24-24, and you don't win the set, how much would that take the wind out of your sails, as you said, knowing that you may not get this opportunity again? So I think it is absolutely critical for the Bulldogs to win this set.
They continue to build on it. Emmy Nye finds the seam. They really do look very different from set 1. Set 1, maybe they just weren't ready for the start of this game. They didn't really come out the gates the way that they are right now. They feel much more practiced, like they have an idea with what they're doing, and they're going to get another point and get within 1.
Yeah, this looks like an entirely different team from the one we saw in that first set. It's almost like the same jerseys on different players. This is night and day, and they've been extremely competitive.
Serve from the libero, Cami Collin, dug by her opposing libero, Hammerschmidt. Wenger with a really nice finish there. A great effort by Logan Scobie, but she could not get underneath that one. Cards up 13-11.
Scobie did her best Izzy Brunkow impression there, but Cards still up by 2 here. But the way this one's dragged on, we are right about halfway done with the set.
And they will not be able to get that one across. Ivy Holloman got a strong fist to that one. They kept the chances of a return possible, but the Bulldogs were not able to bring it about. So it is 14-11. Here's Brady Miller's next serve. Hit across by Nye, another Bulldogs point.
Hanging around.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting finish.
I don't know if they've looked strong enough in the last couple of points they've gained to make a push to get past the Cardinals. I would want to see a little bit more there.
Right.
But they've certainly been impossible to shake off.
They're going step for step.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which they did for a little bit, a very short while in set one, and then the Cardinals ran away with it. That is not happening right now.
Yeah, the challenge is not only...
And they're going to hit another one.
The challenge is not only going step for step for another 10 points or so, but going step for step for the entire rest of the match, and then even being able to get a couple of steps on them. But at this point, they're only down by one. This opportunity has been maybe the strongest right now. It has all game.
But that 2-point deficit seems to be right where this set is going to be for the time being.
Yeah.
As the Cardinals make it back to 15-13. Hemphill getting the kill to end Tatum Hicks' run of serves.
But the other nice thing about keeping it within just two is if the Cards start to fall into a little bit of a rut like that, as the Bulldogs on a service error, we're going to draw one closer. But if the Cards start to fall into a little bit of a lull here, being down by just 1 or 2 points means they could very quickly take advantage if the opportunity presents itself.
Hemphill gets the finish.
I think the Cardinals needed that.
Yeah, the Bulldogs can't close in more than 2 right now. But they are still right there, and the Cardinals have been making some errors, specifically from service. I think they might be a little flustered with the way this set is going. Everything mattering a lot more than it did in set one. Remember, there were some mental or silly mistakes in set one, and the Cardinals were able to just laugh it off. But right now, every little mistake feels pretty costly with how close this set is. Eder gets underneath this return. This will be set to Mason, looking for the seam. She didn't find it. That comes back across, impressively so, but it is not in. It's a Cardinals point. They now lead by 3.
I was amazed that they even got it back over to the Cards side, but nonetheless, that's got to be the biggest lead the Cardinals have had in, I think, a good few minutes. We've been pretty much locked at 1 or 2.
Oh, and I can't deal with that one, and all of a sudden the Cards lead by 4.
So now comes the time where if the Bulldogs are going to go on a run, if you're going to start really lighting on fire here, no better time to do it than right now, where they desperately need some fight.
Eder trying to go with the cross-court serve, and it comes up short. So the lead is reduced to 3, and the serve will come in now from one of the 2 seniors on this Bulldogs roster, Sammy Pittman.
And that leaves the door open. Errors from the Card side give the Bulldogs an opportunity, but you've got to capitalize on them here.
Hemphill, it took a touch at the net. The block did not get enough penetration. It's 19-15 Cards looking to again be the first team to 20.
And what you fear is that the Bulldogs are going to continue to just run step for step now. But instead of being down by 1 or 2, they're down by 4 consistently here.
Eder sets to Mason. It was a bit of an awkward set, but Mason dealt with it well. Emi Nye, too much on that one. Cards are first to 20, and they lead by 5. Shallow serve, pushed back across. Miller. This one comes back over. Set in the central area. Hemphill with a powerful shot from the back line.
That one had some energy on it.
Eder pushes it across. What a move from the senior.
And now the Cards are laughing again.
And the Bulldogs will take a timeout, seeing the momentum slip away from them. It's 21-15. You can go ahead and take a quick break as well.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
reaching residential areas.
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
Your
21-15 our score. It's been a close fought set, but the Cards have a little bit of wiggle room now. And as they were first to 20, which tends to be a good indicator of success, Kane gets a block, and the Cards are now within 3. And it looks like what has been a really good and strong set for Baldwin might end up going for naught.
You can also look at it from the positive side, where in that first set, they really only stuck around and went step for step with the Cards for...
That one was set in a rough spot for Ava Regelato, and it hits off the stick, and it's now 23-15. You were saying, Hayden.
But in that first set where the Bulldogs really only stuck around for, I'd say, 3 points maybe of their own, they were step for step with the Cards. This time around, they hung step for step for maybe 14 to 15 points. Never know what we see in set 3.
Cardinals on a 5-point run here, as they are now within 1 of taking set number 2.
And now the Bulldogs quite literally need to be perfect here the rest of the way out to have any opportunity.
What a serve from Eudora. She just crushed that one for an ace. 25-15 is our final from set 2 as the Cards take the first 2 sets here at home.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch Varsity Sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
For the best care for your...
All right, as we get set to get going on set 3, I'll tell you that Eudora Sports Live is presented by Kansas Insurance. Kansas Insurance believes in taking time to issue personal care and attention to each individual client. To see how Kansas Insurance can help you protect what matters most, call 913-369-6600. Proudly bringing Eudora Sports Live to Cardinals fans everywhere. So it was a very intriguing set number 3 there, where the Bulldogs got out to an early lead. They actually a lead right from the first ball, and they had a 3-point lead at a certain point, but the Cardinals never ran away with it until right at the end. They end up winning by 10, so I guess you can't say they never ran away with it. They ran away at the end there.
It didn't feel like they ran away at any point.
Yeah, the Bulldogs were going within 2 for most of that set. I think it was last 15-13 was the last time that we had that 2-point margin, and the Cardinals end up going on a 10-2 run to finish off set 2, so they now lead 2-0 here. But I think there's a lot to build on for the Bulldogs. But it's sort of what I was saying, is they don't want stuff to build on except for maybe if they had taken that set, they would have liked to build on that.
Right.
The moral positives only count for so much in a game that is now pretty close to being over if the Cardinals can take set 3. And they did so well, and they had luck go their way as well, which you can't rely on that being continuous. You want to just try and capitalize on that when it happens. And it didn't happen for them, but I'm excited for set 3 here because set 2 was a very fascinating encounter.
Yeah, there was a lot of fun matchups and a lot of fun trends to look at there in that second set. But the Cardinals' slight bias and homer in me would be okay with either. If we get to see a really tight game of volleyball, that'd be awesome. If we get to see the Cards do another set 1-esque performance and just walk away with it, I wouldn't complain about that either.
Hammerschmidt checks into the game. It was impressive that the Cards ended up being first to 10 after going down 6-3. And they have been first to 20 both times, and of course, first to 25, taking both sets. Bulldogs put up 9 points in set 1, 15 points in set 2. This one set to Miller, and she gets it across.
Looks like it was blocked over to the other side too, so really impressively done from the Cards there. Get an early point lead.
First point goes to Eudora. Ooh, an awkward set there. Hadley Hobbs was ready to crush that one, had to stay flat-footed. This one to Holloman, and they can't get it back across. It's an early 2-point lead, 2-0 Cards.
And now we know off that last match or that last set where Baldwin was able to stick step for step, consistently down anywhere from 2 to 4 points. You'd really hope they're able to respond back here because going down more than 2 would feel pretty significant for them.
Yeah, it was built on a strong start that they had that lead. This one took a touch, so it's well done that Laura Breedlove kept it alive. This will be Wenger, the left-handed, and she will get the left-handed finish.
And now I think even though it's early, there is a lot of pressure on the Bulldogs here because, as you said, how much they were able to run with the Cards for the first maybe 60% of that set was almost entirely based on how strong their start was. So now with the complete opposite, the ball's in their court and it's important.
Miller gets the kill. Nothing Column could do about that one. 4-0 Eudora.
Brunkow to serve now.
And again, having to stay flat-footed there is Hobbs. And the flat-footed attempt to send it across ends up going out. It's 5-0 Eudora.
And the Cards now find themselves 20% of the way to winning the set and the match this evening.
I was wondering, I don't know if we're going to 15 on set 3. I think we might be going to 15.
That's a good question. It's possible.
We'll find out if they stop playing. Collins sends it back across.
We'll keep it in mind.
And Collins can't get to that one. It's a 6-0 run the Cards are going to start on. It's all been Izzy Brunkow for this 6-0 run. A great way to set the tone is just to get off to a great start. That was what Baldwin did in set 2 that gave them that chance. Collin got under that one, and it's close, but it's out. The run continues for Eudora. And that will induce a timeout from Lewisburg.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Are you looking for it?
There we go. I text Kara, so we'll see if it's
7-0 is our score. A 7-0 run, obviously, that the Cardinals have started on here from Izzy Brunkow. This one will be set to Emmy Nye, and it's the first point for Baldwin as it goes out off the hands of Wenger. But a really strong tone set by the Cards to grab the first 7 points. As they now have a really strong foothold here in set number 3 on top of their 2-0 lead that they have in the game. Here's the serve from Collum. Brunkow sets for Miller, and that one is finished off really well. She can't help but laugh that that one worked so well. It's 8-1.
almost seems like she's surprised by how well it worked.
And Miller will check out for Kennedy Stottleman.
To a roar of applause from the Eudora faithful.
They love seeing their seniors get into this game. And Stottleman's serve will come up short, so gives the ball back to Baldwin.
And this already feels like a very deep hole for the Bulldogs to try to dig out of. That's assuming we're going to 25.
Yeah,
As you mentioned, we could just be going to 15 if that's the case. The Cards are already over halfway there.
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of the energy dip out of the Baldwin side, which is unfortunate because they had a lot of energy in the second set. And that was what gave them the ability to play as well as they did. But they will grab a point here and make it 8-3.
I would love nothing more than to see them roar back here and make this one competitive in that final set, potentially final set.
And a service error off the hand of Tatum Hicks means it's 9-3 for the hosts. Pushed across by Pittman. This one for Hemphill, and she's blocked. A Baldwin point, and that'll give him some life.
And they seem to be almost chanting, come on, come on, come on, over on that side.
I could see Logan Scobie, their player number 5, is really trying to lead the atmosphere on that side.
Saying, come on, guys, trying to get any semblance of momentum, but the Cards get another point. It's going to push their lead out to 10-4, the first team to double digits in set number 3.
But I had said that it felt kind of flat on that Baldwin side, and I think that's changed to some extent. That point was very nice. And they're going to get another one from a service error off the hands of Eder, so it's 10-5.
And errors from the Cards are almost single-handedly keeping this fairly close. So if the Bulldogs are able to get a little bit of a run rolling here, they could reel this one back in. It's not out of the question here for them to make it close.
They will get the kill, though, to make it 11-5. It'll be Avery Hemphill to serve, the 5'10 junior. Miller gets another kill. Makes it 12-5. Oh, and Collum didn't deal with that one super well, but they're going to get it back across. A good recovery for the Bulldogs. Set in the middle for Kane. Another good job by Collum to keep that one alive. Eder sets to Mason. A powerful hit, but Emmy Nye kept it up.
What a run here.
Eder sets to Hemphill, who pushes it across and finds the seam. 13-5.
That was beautifully done.
Both sides.
By Hemphill. Yeah, both sides really, but especially that finish with how much velocity a lot of those passes had back and forth. Just a little bit of touch right over the net. It was more than enough to get that point for the Cards and push them up even further.
And Hemphill with an ace. I do not blame the Bulldogs for letting that one go. It was super close, but she found the corner beautifully. And it's now 14-5. Oh, and not dealt with well, and it's down 15-5.
The match will seemingly continue. So we get more volleyball.
Hemphill and the Cards on a run. Oh, and doing their best to get it across, but it cannot, and that run will continue. 16-5. Cards in pole position now to take set 3. And a timeout will be taken by Lewisburg. We'll go ahead and send you to a quick break and take you right back.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115. To schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theme.
16-5 is our score. Hemphill with the serve. Kept alive by Collum. Nye. Sent over by Scobie. This one will come to Mason, and she couldn't get it back across. Brings the Bulldogs within 10. It's 16-6.
It's just got to be so difficult in this spot. I mean, you can respond, responding to being a few points down is one thing. That's already can be a little bit discouraging. Being down 10 in the third set when you're already down 2-0. Just so difficult to respond from, but we know the Bulldogs have some fight.
Oh, but Miller.
She is inevitable.
Ava Kane will be the one to serve, trying to build on the Cardinals' 11-point lead. Trying to find the back line was Hadley Hobbs, but too much on it. Hemphill checks out, and into the game again is Leanna Muting. Nice low serve from Ava Kane. This one hit at the net, but it is denied. Ivy Holloman couldn't get it back across. Cardinals with another point, and they're on the verge of breaking that 20 mark. It's 19-6.
And this one now looking fairly similar to how set one ended. Of course, it would be a fairly different match, but points-wise, we could end up at a very similar total to that 25-9 from the first set.
This one set to Miller, and she gets the point. The Cardinals are first to 20, and this is on pace to be their best set yet.
And one that started looking fairly promising for them, but not without a little bit of fight back from the Bulldogs. But it is interesting that that second set seeming like an anomaly tonight for Baldwin, despite how convincing it looked. And now the Cards, another point to push them 21-6, and only 4 points away from walking out of here with a 3-0 win.
I remember the 7-0 run that started this set put the Cardinals in a great position, and they're looking to try and build on that, but Hobbs is able to send this back across. This one will come to Mason, and Mason gets the finish.
Just 3 points away now for these Lady Cardinals.
Serve to the cross court. Joust at the net, and the whistle blows and goes to the Cards. Cardinals on the brink of their 20th win this season. And in the midst of this 3-game win streak that they're on is Kane with a great dig. But then Mason puts that one out, making it 23-7. The Cardinals have not dropped a set in this 3-game win streak. They are on the brink of pushing to a 4-game win streak without dropping a set. But they've got a bit more fight to do here. Logan Scobie gonna send this one across. Miscommunication there, and the miscommunication will result in a point going to Baldwin. It's 23-8. Bulldogs have picked up 32 points across the 3 sets. Hammerschmidt dealt with that one well. Miller gets blocked. Mason, header, back to Miller. No, taken away from her by Holloman. Mason with the right-handed jab. It's dumped across, and a beautiful play. That was, I think it was Logan Scobie that dropped that one in there.
I believe so, and it's just a beautiful job to navigate exactly where there was a wide open space over on the Cardinals side, and that window was only there for a split second. Brilliant job to see it and take advantage over on the Bulldogs side.
And they match their total from set one. Maybe they can build on that performance. They will. They've gotten to double digits. It's 23-10. They're on a 4-3 run right now. Scobie was the one trying to be the catalyst of change and belief for the Bulldogs. Here's another serve from her. Dug by Hammerschmidt, but there's going to be another point to Baldwin, 23-11.
That was a beautifully done serve, too, just barely clearing the net. And it was able to be contacted over on the card side, but not enough contact to keep it alive over there.
If they get another point, they might induce a Cardinals timeout, which would bring some great roars from the visitors. Pushed across to Miller, and we won't have to deal with that hypothetical. It's 24-11.
And who else would they look to in a moment where it felt like things might have been starting to slide just a little bit? Of course, they look to no one else but Miller, the killer, to try to deliver them from the slide, and she does so emphatically here late in set three.
Brunkow will serve here with it at match point. Sent across by Breedlove. Dug by Muting, and they get it back across. But then the point still goes to Baldwin, which will mute some of the cheers. But it was a really impressive dig there by the senior Leanna Muting. But our score is 24-12. The Cards will have to wait, and they will not be on serve if and when they take set three. To Miller, and she gets the finish and finishes off the game. 25-12 is the score in set three, and the Cardinals take it 3-0 here over the Bulldogs. They were relentless here as the hosts, and they continue on being the top spot in the Frontier League. Their undefeated Frontier League season moves to 7-0. It's the 20th win on the Cardinals here. We'll go to a break. When we're back, it's the post-game show, and we will sign off here on this volleyball matchup.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle, and he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
All right, welcome in here to our post-game show brought to us by Eudora Animal Hospital. For 40 years, Eudora Animal Hospital has been caring for pets and livestock with fair pricing, trusted service, and compassionate care. Pet owners from across the region trust their four-legged friends to Eudora Animal Hospital. To learn more, visit eudoravet.com. So it was a 3-0 victory for the Cards. They pushed their win streak up to 4, their Frontier League undefeated season up to 7. Their win tally on the year up to 20, as they now sit 20-9. A very strong showing here, and I think there were some good takeaways if you're watching from the Baldwin side of things, specifically set 2. They looked really good. It was not just fortune and luck. There was some of that, but there's always some of that. They actually were playing really well. It was too bad that that didn't continue on in set 3 or begin in set 1, but things to build on. They've got a pretty young roster as well, only 2 seniors. So definitely the next couple years will be solid for the Bulldogs. And the rest of this year, of course, you hope they can get some wins after this one. I think they will have learned something from this matchup. But from the Cardinals side of things, a very solid performance. They ended up taking each set comfortably, even though set 2 didn't feel that way for a bit. They took it by 10 points. So yeah, a very, very strong performance. Hayden, what do you make of everything that we saw today?
Yeah, I think it was just a really good team playing really good ball for the most part. I mean, these Lady Cards, of course, you mentioned they came in 19-9, and we expected them to come in and you look at the stat sheet, and this is the kind of game you expect them to win. However, they didn't have it easy. That second set in particular, the Bulldogs were truly step for step with them through the first, I think, 60 to 70% of that set. So they didn't have it easy, but they did respond brilliantly. They never blinked in the face of a close match. And in set 1 and set 3, they didn't have a whole lot of challenges at all. They had a couple of little errors here and there, a little bit of sloppy moments that they will want to clean up, of course. But for the most part, I think you can come away very pleased if you're on the Cardinals side of things, looking forward to the rest of their season. They've only got a couple of games left. I believe they have a tournament coming up here later this week, and then I believe on Saturday they've got a tournament going, 2 more games there. And then they'll round out the year against Paola, who is, of course, as we mentioned, second place in the Frontier League, so that'll be a fun end-of-season matchup for this Lady Cardinals volleyball squad. But I think it was an impressive showing. Just looked really good. They put up a good fight against a team that we saw wasn't willing to lie down. This Bulldogs team was not weak by any standing, especially in that second set, despite what the record may show. But it was impressive. It was what we've seen from the Cards volleyball team pretty much every time we've covered them, which is a very strong, very coordinated, very well coached, and very resilient volleyball squad. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, to go ahead and take advantage of how quick this game is, we can go ahead and have a quick post game here too. So we'll just let you look right ahead to what is up next here on Eudora Sports Live. That will be Friday. There will be football against Independence, who we get to host this time, so we don't have to practically drive to Oklahoma to be in a 100-year-old stadium, which doesn't let the hotspot work very well.
The stadium itself was incredible.
It was, and I had so many fun facts that I was so ready to do, and then the Wi-Fi didn't work, and I'm not salty about it at all.
Maybe we could bring up a few on the live stream on Friday.
Maybe, yeah. It'll be a year later, $1 short, but yeah. And I want to say thank you to you, Hayden, for running the football game last week all by yourself. And I haven't gotten to look back at it yet, but I'm excited, too, to see how that one went for you. And it was a great game for the Cardinals. They continue to roll. The football team doing really, really well. And we'll be excited to see that continue on Friday. For the volleyball team, I don't think we will be there, but this upcoming Saturday, they've got tournament play. And then on the 14th, they will play against Paola, the 2 top teams within the Frontier League. So this Cardinals volleyball season, which is also going well, and they're currently on a hot run, will get to continue there. I think that about does it here, unless there's anything to add, Hayden.
Not a whole lot.
All right. Well, yeah, we thank you so much for tuning in here. A nice truncated, quick volleyball game here. I mean, we were technically scheduled to start at 6:30. It started before that because the JV game also went quick. So we're going to be out of here by 7:15.
It started about an hour ago, right on the dot.
Yeah, very nice and short stream here. Got everything nice and packaged and wrapped up and finished. So thank you so much for tuning in here. We will see you on Friday. Go Cardinals, and have a good rest of your week.
From the gridiron to the hard court, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local sports coverage at VarsitySportsLive.com.